I need mindfulness. I'd like to invite you to begin to notice what is here, what information you are registering through all your senses. I'm noticing a slowing down of my breathing, noticing some food remaining in my mouth. Noticing some vibration throughout my body, hopefully also slowing down. Noticing some background noise. Whatever is here, I'd like to notice if there's any stories, interpretations we automatically start telling ourselves as we notice the first-hand information. Our mind is so works nonstop. As long as we are awake, our mind works so hard to interpret, figuring out, and to understand all the information we take in every moment. If you noticed any stories or interpretations, does that feel familiar? Is this something new? If you would like, you can join me in appreciating our mind's ability, our mind's automatic helpfulness. We may catch here and there how you're assuming or the mind is judging, but for the most part, can you imagine if our mind stopped doing that? Can you imagine how slow or difficult some routine things going through life, little things our mind automatically does for us? So I'd like to invite you to really appreciate this automatic way our mind functions. With that, I invite you to come back to our virtual meeting space when you're ready. Take as long as you need. And I'd love to hear your notices, check in from this past month's practice. If you're okay, if you're willing to share.
The last month's practice.
What do you notice through this mindfulness practice or anything over the months, a little over a month?
Okay. I can go first. Well, for the mindfulness, thank you very much, Liz. I feel more grounded, and I feel maybe because of the um things that I'm wearing, I feel very warm, and I can feel the warmth like running through my palm, my fingers, and it's raining outside. So when you said, okay, let's hear another thing, I just hear the raindrops and the sound of it. It feels very peaceful. And when you're like trying, say, following your guidance, like feeling gratitude, like what's internal and out and outside, feeling very, very good. Um, so that's the sharing for the mindfulness. And for the last month practice, um, I don't know if it's time for me to share, but I do have one question because I have a client. I've been doing EMDR for several months,
It's okay.
and
Wait, yeah. Hold on to the question
okay,
for now. Let's hear Young's check-in reflection first.
Um, so when I slow down, I first also taste the sensation of the food in my mouth because I just ate some rice. Um, and then I then start noticing the smell of the deodorant in the house because this morning my housemate's cat pooped on the stairs. So yeah, maybe they're having a temper tantrum. So I smell the cleaners flavors. And then I noticed there's a part of some muscles in this part of my face got relaxed a little bit. It's like suddenly is just extended. So it feels really good because I've been feeling that my left eye has been like very tense, very tight. So um, I feel good about that relaxation.
Thank you for sharing. I'll go ahead and share mine too. I've already shared what I noticed during the mindfulness, but what I didn't share was the story. As I noticed the taste in my mouth, like a quick thought, so quick. I shouldn't have grabbed that piece of my mooncake as I walked upstairs. The sweetness was all over. Well, should I? Shouldn't I? Doesn't matter. And that's so automatic. That's what, prompted me to notice our mind, what our mind does instantly, automatically, all the time. I apologize for being late. We are moving. This is the last week of moving. My daughter has already started the new school, so I've been driving her. It's a little further, but just, yeah, getting out of the door to have enough time is hard. That's why last week I was really panicked. I'm going to be really late. Traffic was bad. But again, this week I'm late. There's stories. I won't go too much into it, but I appreciate you. Yeah, Lyla, what was your question?
Uh, my question is actually more of a concern, because after doing several sessions with the EMDR with this client, and we do it like 2 to 3 times a month. Sometimes she's not available, but anyway, we do it on a constant base. Um, Last week, she sent me a screenshot of her sports watch. She has a sports watch that constantly monitoring all the body
Actually,
indicator.
grab mine. Just reminded me. It's charging.
Yeah, and then her sports watch, the data, the figures showing that she has a higher proportion of the REM state during. So it gave her a warning of this higher REM state. So the REM duration, I would say like 40% of the REM. Normally, it should be like 20 to 30%. So she starts to get worried, and I start to get worried. Even though I told her, okay, fine, if you're really worried, you go to hospital and check. But then I started to think, is this something to do with EMDR? Like, is that because of EMDR? And also, she has a slower heart rate that she needs monitoring to go to hospital, which she should be in hospital this week. So anyway, I'm a little bit concerned if that happens to other people who go through EMDR process, like because a higher REM proportion during sleep. Is that an issue? Should I state, switch to more auditorial or tactile maneuver instead of, eye movement?
So, does she have a medical diagnosis for bradycardia? That's the medical term I just pulled up for slow heart rate.
I don't think so. She didn't mention that to me
Okay.
before. Mm.
How slow?
Well, she didn't tell me how slow the heart rate is. Sorry, let me see. Wait, she did send me a screenshot. Uh, I think it's 40 something. Hmm. Yeah, 40 something.
Does she
Normally,
exercise regularly?
no, I don't think so. So that's the issue.
Well, REM just means she is having more dreams. She's her during the sleep. There's more active dreaming or association going on. I don't
Mm,
think that's not a medical concern,
mm,
and it can be related to processing. The brain just continues. We during reprocessing we clear some blocks, and the brain starts to have more associations or more processing now that the blocks are removed. But the heart rate, I think you did the proper, just to follow up with the doctor.
mm,
You probably also notice there's a wide range of dreamless nights or a night full of dreams, and that's just all
mm,
doesn't really. I personally don't think it warrants any medical attention unless it's really affecting the sleep quality.
mm. So I should continue with the EMD.
However, what I'm curious is what does this tell you about the client's answer? Wearing a wearable device, a lot of people do that, but a lot of people don't necessarily pay much attention to these figures or not that concerned. Her being so
Anxious?
worried about just had more REM sleep and so I'm hearing so particular about am I within the normal range? There's not like an absolute normal range, right? We have nights we dream a lot, we have nights that we don't dream at all. What does that tell you about this client's answer?
Well, she probably wanted 15, but she does have an inclination of borderline personality. So I have several theories. One is that she is overly concerned, insecure, anxiety, or she's sending those screenshots. One is she really concerned about her health and everything. And also, this client has a tendency to send me a lot of information in general. I don't reply to every messages, but I would have a sense of attention seeking. So normally I would just really go for professional things. Then, well, as long as it doesn't affect too much of what we're doing here, then it should be fine. So her answer back to your question, I would say, like, insecure, so like not sure about herself. Other possibilities, looking for confirmation.
Yeah. How do you put that in the language, really seeing what's she's good at and what's difficult for her?
Well, she's good at noticing and aware of what's happening around and within. And what she can develop is to be more confident, to be more affirmative of herself. And yeah, I would think it's the
So I'm hearing she's very sensitive to all these physical signs and very good at comparing what she notices to norm or not norm. Becomes really worried or concerned when there's some variations, like not fitting in the norm, right? Really sensitive, compares a lot. So it's difficult for her to trust my body is okay, I'm okay, or trust her own judgment. Do I actually have an issue here or not? She needs to ask. She's good at getting reassurance or asking other people. Just gathering, like, yeah. We don't want to use the word attention seeking, but because that'll offend the answer. We really want to see what the answer is doing for the person. It sounds like this is maybe a little stretch. I'm guessing maybe there has been some emotional neglect or her big emotions were not validated, and when it comes to physical symptoms, she probably learned that she could get some attention when there's physical health symptoms. So this is one theory, becomes really hypersensitive of getting attention through monitoring abnormal health symptoms or abnormal perceive I'm not well.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm just proposing a theory. And
Oh, yes, she is like suffering from domestic violence for years. Her dad, her grandpa. Yes, she was neglected emotionally, sometimes physically.
so she basically she's hungry for attention. I all the time and paying close attention to some of these physical health signs and seeking help, seeking attention, pay attention to me, I'm not well. That's what the answer is doing for her.
Mm.
And then it's difficult to feel, to trust her own judgment. Yeah. And I'm also curious about when she raised the concern about her heart rate or REM sleep, just because she told you it's out of the normal range and you started getting concerned or worried. Yeah, does that feel familiar?
Yes, when I'm entering some new, well, it's relatively new now, especially for the unexpected or unknown situation raised. I feel I don't want to do things wrong, especially I don't want to hurt or do harm to other people, especially people who paid me for my.
Yeah, sounds like you're good at making sure you are doing the right thing. You're not causing harm. You're really conscientious. You be cautious. You want to be cautious. And I'm also hearing when you are not familiar with something, and I'm also hearing it's difficult to trust,
Mm.
and it's difficult to, I guess, not feel responsible. I don't know. It could be something. It could be underlying medical issue, or it could be something. But did it cross your mind that it couldn't have been your fault? Couldn't have been the MDR's fault? Or
Could
even
be.
if it's partially started by EMDR and that's not the end of the world, you're not in trouble,
Could be. But logically, I would think there should be something to do with EMDR.
right? So
Yeah.
I just like to invite you to notice the patterns of what kind of patterns, automatic patterns you're
Mm.
carrying and get you hooked.
Mm.
Yeah, even if it's something started or not necessarily completely caused, but correlates to the EMDR work we do. Would it be okay? Oh, let's just evaluate the situation, then consider all the factors and make a educated decision what to do next. Maybe that's a risk we are willing to take. I'm saying we. Maybe that's something can be resolved if we continue the work. Or maybe I'm going to pause and go check with my consultant. And all of the above, I'm not in trouble. What are you noticing, Lyla?
I feel that maybe not that bad as I thought would be. A little bit relieved.
I would really encourage you. This is encouragement, and you may get around to do it, may not. When you notice moments like that, record it on your memories and lives log. What is showing up now, the concern, the worry, the tension, the carefulness, all this, how is this connected to past memories and the negative beliefs? If we are true believers, we truly believe the AIP theory, the model, whatever is showing up that's doesn't fit the present moment, right? It's overreaction or underreaction that must be having roots to in the past. And if we really, really believe this model, we can connect the dots and we are going to really attend to the roots. Keep cleaning up, even though it's not necessarily big activation, big ruptures of attachment. These small yet insidious, everyday little tense up, a little reaction here and there, that's still limiting us every day. So I'm proposing for every, at least safe EMDR practitioners, this memories and life log is not just for our clients, it's for ourselves too. The best self-care is continuing to deepen our own work, continue to clean up our past. Then we can be completely open and present in the present. Whatever client brings in, we don't get that instant something because some part of our unresolved past got woken up. We need to do this. We have to do this. Yeah. Thoughts, notices, comments.
Thank you, Liz.
I know this is our last meeting for the 10 months, your certification. But if anything, you want, carry on with you. I want this message. I would really like you to keep being curious about your own what's there that may still affect and limit me today. Okay. Yeah. I went to this year's conference. That was good. A couple of things I wanted to share. Maybe I'll share after we review or answer your practice questions. So towards the end. So you ready to take over? Review or bring up what you need from me.
Reflections.
I'm trying to review our practice last month to see if there's any questions.
I have a question for the future states. Sometimes,
Future templates.
sorry,
No,
future.
so two things. Future desired states or future desired state and future template protocol. Which one?
I actually question of mixed them with both.
Okay.
Like for some clients, they have several future desired states. And when I use the protocol, like should I go, for example, like they have one desired state, but they have different resources. They can, for example, this girl who had trouble go to supermarket. Then when running through the filter protocol, then we'll go through the resources she can use to overcome this obstacle. Then there are several resources she can use. She can calm down herself. She can talk to her friends. She can, even talk to her family or call me or like as resources. So should I run each of the resource in a scenario? That means like three scenarios, or to pick one, or we'll combine it together. So that's my question.
So good question. One, I go back a little bit. You mentioned several future desired states. Is that for one situation or
Yes.
is one situation only one future desired state? Is that
Like it's two separate questions. Like one, like for example, she wants to feel free to go to the
okay?
theater or cinema. And then the future desired state could be either she like passing through the cinema but feeling free, or she entered into the cinema feeling free. And the second question is like different resources she can use to reach
Okay.
this.
All right.
Yeah,
I
there.
think, okay. For the future desired state, for this client, you want to identify one specific situation. So there, what you just talked about were two situations. One situation is every day she's walking by the theater, she feels a little bit of anxiety. That's one situation. Her desired state wants to walking by, notice, oh, this is the theater, and I'm calm and not triggered. That's one situation. Another separate situation is a friend invited me, or I bought tickets. I'm actually going in. I'm attending, or I'm going in. I want to feel this way. So that's two separate situations, right? I'm just passing by on my way to school, work, or I'm actually choosing. So that's two situations, but each situation should have just one desired state. You can put in more elements in that one. I want to not stand there for 10 minutes without walking in. I want to be able to breathe, or I want to still connect with the person next to me, not feel like I'm hiding, blah, blah, blah. You can make that one desired state more rich. And you can use the future template protocol on situation one, just walking by, or on situation two, I'm actually going in.
Okay, so one scenario at one time. And the resources, like
Yeah.
for people.
So for the resources, that's a good one. We put in, I believe in the newer worksheets, we asked them to change it, add that we want these resources to be accessible to them in that situation. If it's going to the supermarket, I'm almost getting like panic attack. I say I can go to my car, or doctor prescribed me some Advil, or I'm going to get that, right. If it's not accessible in that situation, you're getting a panic attack in the next 5 seconds, and it's not accessible. When you catch yourself feeling that way, what resources can you utilize in that situation? Okay, noticing panic, start to put down everything, focus on breathing, or whatever special breathing technique you practiced, or start to feel tunnel vision or whatever. I have a picture, I have a necklace, that's something reminds me of a resource, a caring person, whatever. Something it have to be accessible to them in that moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, making
They feel like they can, yeah, if these are people I can call, I'm going to call right now. And if it's you, and knowing you are probably not going to answer the phone, that's not really helpful, right?
Yes.
Or if it may be more helpful to, okay, I can just by describing to my therapist what's going on. Doesn't matter if she replies. That helps me. Okay, I'm going to start recording a voice message. I was walking on in the aisle, something, 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 and I'm now hiding in the corner. I now, as I'm talking out loud, I'm remembering the resources we practiced together. Blah, blah. That's a resource. But yes, it's combined. They might have to try one, two, three. If I often ask when the client come up with their resources, I often ask them, do you feel these resources are sufficient enough to get you through that situation, get you through that bump, continue to finish the movie? If they don't feel sufficient, I might offer something. But the goal is to get through the challenge and finish running the the whole movie, whatever situation it is. Is that clear?
Here.
I have questions regarding last month's practice. I do feel more comfortable working with the different templates or protocols. I was reviewing some of our meeting notes and noticed that we went through the 5 Cs in the past. But I forgot what that is. So, I mean, I remember the C's,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't remember
Mm-hmm.
what's the function of those C's. What is it describing? Yeah, so can
What's
you
the first
elaborate
one?
on that?
It's a good review.
Uh, so it's catching the answer.
Yeah. Like
Um, yeah.
Lila's client, we can use that as an example, right? Whatever the client is presenting, instead of immediately jumping in and reacting to it, maybe we pull back and wonder if this could be part of their answer, what they are showing me, what is this they are good at, what is underdeveloped, it's difficult for them. Okay, so we are quietly either in the moment or between sessions. Oftentimes, sometimes we feel stuck or feel not moving with the client, and between sessions I wonder if that's what they do,
Mm.
right? We catch it on our own first. Be curious.
Mm.
Second C, curious.
Um, Curious. I was trying to say compassion.
Oh, I, yeah, curiosity.
Curiosity.
Really, first, just catch it. Oftentimes, it's something we might feel, what's this? They keep doing that, or
Mm.
they just won't do what I say. But when we can catch it, then we be curious. I wonder if that's something helped them in the past. I wonder if they are just automatically doing this because they are under stress. They are feeling pressured or they are overwhelmed. And it's
Mm.
just showing up, trying to help. With Lila's client, I'm wondering if they often feel so neglected or disconnected from everyone, so alone, so on my own. I'm not okay, but nobody cares about me. Or, so that insecurity maybe drives. See, I'm hurting. See, I'm like, I have a physical diagnosis or blah blah blah. So we really be curious how this is used to be helpful at least. And so once we can be helpful, we can catch it instead of jumping in and interacting. We can be curious. Oh, we're seeing, okay, they are just doing that automatically. Then collaborating. We can join and understand maybe this time we can, oh, of course you are so concerned about your heart rate, or of course you are so concerned about because it shows there's a norm and you are outside the norm. You are quite sensitive to compare and collaborate with the client, but in a way that we are just seeing what they're good at. And that's the collaborating. Catch it, being curious, collaborate with the client. Oftentimes when we do that, of course, you are so good at you when we do that, the client often would pause and, yeah, nobody cares about me. I have to really watch my vital signs, my symptoms. They might already start to offer and volunteer information about the past. when we invite the collaboration. Next is the contact. The first time we really make contact with the client, it's really we're talking to the answer, and how we approach the answer, we always start with, "You are so good at." And we have to genuinely, the wording, our voice, the way we do it, to convey the sincere appreciation. You are so good at closely monitoring your physical, any cues that maybe something is not going well.
Mm.
You don't want to miss anything. You are so good at that. So when we do that contact, it's always start with what you're good at. Then the last one, connecting to the past.
Mm.
And only when the client starts to agree with that. Yeah, of course I have to. And I wonder if you developed that, you became so good at that out of your circumstances. Any clue how you became so good at keeping a close eye on your physiology and any signs of illness and symptoms? Yeah, I got so sick. Nobody, for so long, nobody cared about me. And when I learned that the highest fever you can get is 103 or 4, and I was higher than that, nobody cared. And of course, I was so close to be dead. I have to start. I'm making this up, but it's when we really invite the curiosity and appreciation, the client can go all the way back to the origin story of the answer. And it was always a solution out of no solution.
Thank you, Lise.
Yeah, catch it, being curious, collaborate, contact. The first contact is really key. Then connect to the past. Before the client can sincerely appreciate and agree with us, they may not able to connect to the past. Yeah, it was helpful at some point, but I just wanted to go away now. Then their nervous system is still protecting that information.
Mm. These serve as like reminders for us how to help the client or how to assist the client with their reprocessing.
Yeah, once you are able to really see it that way, or even had previous conversations about these answers, when they're in processing, they're unaware, they're just automatic doing that. Oh, because you've had those conversations, it's just so much easier. Oh, yeah, you're doing that thing again. I wonder if that's what helped you in the past. You had to do that. And things right back to the vulnerable memory.
Thank you. It actually reminds me of when we're going through the 5 Cs. It reminds me of a client that we did try EMDR in the past sessions. And then she also asked to go back to EMDR reprocessing every now and then. But also there's another part of her pushing back, resisting going into EMDR. And then after several sessions saying that why we don't continue doing EMDR. And then recently in the session, because some clearly, and she did notice that some past memories keep coming up. It's the same memory associated with different present events. And then that's a memory that we did identified in our treatment plan before, but then we haven't processed it yet. So again, I propose that it sounds like it could be a good time to use EMDR to do some reprocessing. And then she was very worried about going into EMDR because she worries that she would get too overwhelmed if she's opening the box, and then she don't want to keep thinking about or focusing on that memory. She's worried that she got dissociate, which it has always been her worry, but it hasn't happened before in the EMDR process. So I did share with her that I will be there. I will support her noticing her symptoms, and then going through this together with her. And she can always take pause if she feels she needs, or if it's too overwhelming. But then we end up didn't go into the EMDR because it seems it's too much for her. So I'm curious about your thoughts after hearing that. Yeah, because I don't want to force her, but she would reflect that it's helpful for her after the previous processings. But whenever we trying to get back to that, there's pullback from her.
Let's use the 5 C's. First one, what are you catching here? Or can you catch something?
This client has an answer of noticing different potentially dangerous situations,
There's a warrior.
and yeah, and then protecting herself.
Yeah, being extremely cautious.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my treasure box of time capsules tightly locked.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you curious about when you catch this as what they are good at?
I'm curious, what is the thing that she's trying to really protect? Um, what is thing that she's seeing that's so dangerous for her?
Can I share what I'm just noticing?
Yeah.
I just caught or noticed you are really good at figuring things out and maybe come up with a solution. If only you understood and you can maybe have a solution. You go head on. It seems to me you are quite good at there's something blocking me or not clear. I'm gonna go closer to figure it out. Get closer. Show me more. Approaching.
Yeah.
You're good at that. Approaching challenges, approaching problems. I'm curious, how was that helpful for you in the past?
Mm.
Something is hard. I'm not backing off. I'm gonna spend more time figuring it out.
Yeah, I think that is usually how I do things and help me um, move forward.
Yeah, push through,
Um,
persevere.
yeah,
Yeah,
push through. Yeah,
put more time, more hard work in, and
yeah.
tackle it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like however high a target or challenge, I'm gonna, yeah, you have this determination with some time
Mhm.
and my hard work. I will conquer it. It's a challenge. I'll conquer it. Determination.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wonder, how did you become so good at that? There are a lot of people, they would just try or take a step back. What is this? Is this something I really want or not? Or how much effort I'm going to take away from other things just to focus on this? Is it worth it or not? You probably know people that do that
Mhm. Yeah.
instead of just head on and really
Mhm.
so determined. I have to get this cleared before I can think of anything else.
Yeah. I think I'm so good at that. I think because I get good results out of that, so it's
Right? You
reinforcing.
yep.
Yeah.
Keep going.
um,
Yep.
yeah,
Before it was reinforced,
and
how did it come about?
um, yeah. And I think that's also there are times where if I don't keep going, um, maybe I'll get stuck, or that it seems I won't be able to get what I want. Um, yeah, so maybe I see that as one possible way to go about that rather than giving up.
So giving up was not an option.
Hmm. Yeah.
Giving up or take a step back would have meant, what would that mean about you if you didn't
Mm.
focus all your energy to conquer that challenge?
Mm. I'm weak, maybe. Um, I'm, yeah, maybe mostly I'm weak.
I'm noticing because I have had the privilege to observe your work with each other. What's coming up for me is seeing that little girl feeling being compared to your brother. I have to prove I'm good enough, just as good.
Mhm.
The challenge is not just a challenge, the challenge is tied to my worth and my whether I'm good enough. That's a guess. What do you notice?
Um, it it doesn't click much with me as the feeling of I'm comparing with my brother doesn't really come up, doesn't really feel that close. The image in my mind is more about I'm facing the world by myself, um, rather than it's more of like a comparison
Oh,
with, yeah.
great information. Yeah. I have no choice but conquering it by myself.
Mhm.
There's no other routes or support or falling back on. Go
Mm,
ahead. That's the
mm,
only option. Yeah. Thank you for being open to exploring this with me. So now we
yeah.
unwind a little bit here.
Mm,
It started with I asked you. We notice you're catching the client's answer being have a really good worried about
yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
losing control, not able to come back to regulation, being flooded, being dissociated, all that, and being cautious. And my next question, what are you curious about when they are good at, they are doing what they are good at? I heard your
Mhm.
response. Oh, what is this warrior protecting? What's
Yeah.
underneath it? I don't know, but I notice you are good at going towards it.
Mhm.
I wonder
Yeah.
if you can pull a step back. Oh, I'm just curious how they become so good. How, how did this warrior help them in the past?
Mhm.
It's not about my solving a problem, but I want to see more of their pattern, how this warrior, and just stay here, not going more.
Mhm.
Inviting them, hey, yeah, I'm noticing you are really good this to what good about being cautious,
Mhm.
not taking too much risks to protect yourself. How do you see that too? Yeah, you're good. Um, how was that helpful? How did that help you in the past?
Mhm.
Let them really being aware of the answer and what the answer is trying to help. So another comes to my mind is working with the answer is really the Chinese phrase 成语以退为进.
Mhm.
It's not about us figuring out, okay, that's the next step. Appreciate the answer. That's the next step. Go into reprocessing, then everything will be resolved. Come along with me. We're just standing right here. It's a puzzle or it's a mountain cave with guards, with special door codes or whatever. We're not, the client has the key. I'm here just being curious, inviting them to be curious with me, inviting them to really appreciate each of these guards. Only them can truly disarm these guards and poof the gate, the security system. The more I'm like, I got the code, I'm gonna put in the code, come with me, everything locks even more layered.
Yeah.
This is the deepest respect we have for our client's system. They have to show us the way. If there's any we call resistance or avoidance, we step back more.
And that's because their answer is coming up and doing their thing.
Perceiving us as the invader or intruder or potentially destabilizer. It's not about convincing them. The reason we only, when we make contact with the answer, we only see you are so good at predicting all the worst possible outcomes or scenarios. Yeah. But and be cautious, and they let them say the but I also want to heal, but I don't want to keep getting triggered. Okay, yeah, both are true. Can you see the helpfulness of the answer? Can you truly appreciate the answer? Just tries to help, but it doesn't know you're truly safe. It's okay to go in. I can't convince you. Do you see this is actually safe to try it again? Can you first thank your answer? Oh, thank you. You're here to protect me. Yeah. Then, when the answer truly felt that deep appreciation, the answer perceives that, oh, I guess we are safe here. I guess this is different. We can maybe give it a try.
Thank you.
Yeah. 以退为进.
Yeah, a tagline that I've note down. It's, it reminds me of sometimes in my supervision with my supervisor, we were doing some drama therapy processing, and then she would say that, oh, I noticed that you actually lean in a lot when you talk with clients or when you talk about clients.
Yeah.
So that physical metaphor really captured how I see my relationship with clients. And there's really a tendency for me to care more they are than I should be. I take a more responsibility than I should be.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. You feel
that's
responsible to come up with the code to crack whatever security system, right? You feel the need to do it
mhm.
for them, or
Yeah, yeah.
no, it's all
That's
part of the
that's
plan. They have the key,
yeah. That's the not the most helpful.
right? Even if some clients they hand us the key, go, yeah, you open it for me. I would, I would, yeah, I would really, oh, be curious. What is this? How could this be part of their answer? Just save me. If the reprocessing, you think the reprocessing will help? Okay, I'll go along with it. Okay, is this really what you're choosing? Are you able to stop me when you are out of the window tolerance? Yeah, there's really good, helpful part to just be helpless and let everybody else take care of me, right? And then maybe it's difficult to really have some agency. And then if things don't go well, they blame, they they have resentment. See, you guys said I should be doing this, and I trusted you, and I'm getting worse. It's all your fault. So in any way we fall into the pattern, it can be landmines in the down the down the road.
Totally.
So really the best is just be able to stay centered and observe. Oh, be curious. Whatever is showing up, it's a true collaboration.
Mm.
Every step of the way. Okay, we did a lot of reviewing. I also used real client cases. Should we take a quick break? Come back in 5.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me message her.
No, that's okay. She could be just getting here or in the bathroom. How are
Liz,
you, Lyla?
um, I'm good. I do have a question though. Like, are there a lot of like this EMDR consultant training going on in China, or you know that?
I'm not. Oh, actually, interestingly, I met a woman who is also a trainer, Chinese,
Mhm.
has been doing EMDR trainings in China.
Oh,
I exchanged contact information. I haven't really gotten back to her yet, but yeah, she says she's part of the EMDR China Association or something under HAP. The
Under.
EMDR HAP is so Francine Shapiro, before she passed, she created several. MGA is one, and EMDR International Association. HAP is another organization for international humanitarian. It's HAP, Humanitarian Assistance Program. They also a lot of volunteering. They also do trainings. They have presence all over the world. Trauma recovery network. I'm trying to set up a local chapter in our area under HAP, TRN, Trauma Recovery Network. Just if any violence, disaster, or any trauma, big trauma events happen, so we have a group of EMDR trained clinicians ready to support the community. Early interventions. But yeah, I need to follow up with her. So what? Sorry, I went on.
No, Liz,
What's your question?
yeah, because I just want to know like other like organizations where training going on in China. So yeah, apparently there are.
There are, but they're not safe model, and there is some political stuff about territory. Andrea was the first one for international. Like a lot of places were all under Andrea, but when they can set up their own, like EMDR Europe, EMDR Asia, now EMDR Africa has their own. So Andrea would give way to those local associations to govern their certification, training. So there is some territory, political issue there. I'm Andrea approved trainer, but I'm not supposed to just go to China and train. But that woman is under HAP. That's kind of the philanthropy and nonprofit, the other like humanitarian assistance program that every other association, official association, also let that to go to, especially for low resource regions and countries. So HAP is, I don't understand all of that, but there is clearly some territorial boundaries.
So under so if you're a HAP trainer, you can
That's
train.
more allowed or accepted to go to different regions.
But are they allowed to charge people or they have to train people like,
Right, the trainings would depends. Some are maybe, I don't know. I think most are would charge a fee, or there are grants covered. I know when the Ukraine war first broke out, HAP did a lot of training for Ukrainian therapists, thousands of them. That could have been covered by some grant funding. Yeah. Well, it's something to explore.
Yeah. Training is a good business. So it's
Yeah.
bad that if there are restrictions.
So I'm also just new hearing about all of that stuff. The world is complex, right? No simple answers. Any more you want to review or questions?
Mm. I have questions of what we should do after this program.
Okay, so this is the certification toward the consultation towards certification. So after today, I'm going to working on getting you a letter, each of you, and you feel free to go on Andrea's website to prepare they have other things they want you to prepare, right? Some affidavit of how many clients you worked with and blah, 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 how long you've been practicing, you're fully licensed, blah, blah. So then you can apply to become certified. And you can put on your signature or website, my Andrea certified EMDR therapist.
I went on the website. It seems like anyone can register, like for a therapist, even if they're not certified.
Well, if you are basic trained, you are only allowed to say I'm EMDR trained, EMDR therapist. But for certification, you ethically you can only claim you are a certified therapist, EMDR therapist, once you complete this process. You submit your application, it'll take them a few weeks to approve. Then if you, well, you don't have to do anything after that. But if you want, there is a pathway to join PTI as a part of PTI's team. You become you'll be on your way to become an approved consultant if you want. And that entails like it's PTI doesn't charge you money for that. Deb will become your consultant to give you feedback, but you observe trainings, and then when you feel comfortable, you assist trainings for free in exchange of getting feedback and apprentice with other consultants to do consultation groups and run trainings like the assistance you had during the basic training. I believe it doesn't matter about time. It's you first observe training, just week 1, week 2, and then when you feel comfortable, you can be an assistant to assist week 1 trainings for I don't know 2 trainings, or then you feel comfortable because week 2 you have 10 hours of case consultation. You are going to be leading a group for their case consultation. So you start with week 1, then you do week 2. I think it's 5 or 6, 3 days. Then you can get paid for after that when you assist training. Then you will join another consultation group, become an apprentice with like me or another consultant, having 2 consultees, learning how to run consultation groups. And after apprenticing for 5 months, you can go on and run your own consultation group for certification. It's lots of moving pieces, but that's an option if you want to continue with PTI. But there are also other, go ahead.
No. But if I want to run consultation groups in China, I'm not allowed, right?
I don't know. You have to ask
Mm,
whoever in China. You are not a consultant, so you can have peer consultation groups, but you are not, even within Andrea's territory, turf, you're not a consultant. You can't charge people for consultation. You're approved, certified. So if you say, okay, our practice or our region, we gathered 4 or 5 just EMDR therapists. Well, let's have once a month peer consultation, right? We consult with each other, but you are not the consultant for other EMDR therapists because you are not an approved consultant.
Hmm. Then the approved consultant, is it the same with approved trainer?
No.
Oh, okay. So approved consultant and approved trainer
It's the
is a
next
different
level.
category
It's a different next
in
level. Yeah.
EMDR, no, in MDR as well. Ah,
Some approved consultants, they have expertise from other areas, or they've been approved consultant. They don't have to be a basic trainer, but they could maybe apply to be a MDRIA to offer trainings. A approved consultant can offer advanced trainings. Say they have a play therapy background, working with kids, or they are really good with working with neurodivergent, even though they are not a basic trainer, basic EMDR, that basic training you went through. They can provide continuing education for other EMDR therapists as a approved consultant, but they are not trainer for basic training.
ah, okay.
It's good that you are thinking ahead. What's next? You don't have to do anything, or if you think about it, you want to join PTI, be part of PTI, you can reach out to support or DAP. And besides those structured program to become a approved consultant, you can also, anytime you feel you want some more consultation, either with me or anyone else in this field, you can reach out, right? Yeah, what's your charge? I would like to book some one consultation meeting, or find there are places, either the PTI has the Google group, a Facebook group. Andrea, if you are a member, Andrea also has the forums for people to ask questions. But do you feel, if you feel beneficial to have an actual consultation meeting for either for a few meetings or for one meeting about a specific case, you are free to do that. You need to seek out. That's part of the reason why I stopped reviewing everything. You need to come prepared what you need from the consultant. Is that the consultant giving you what they think you need, right? and there are always advanced trainings. Next year's, I know Emdria Canada, I've never been, but has their own conference. Once a year, maybe. But Emdria is going to have its conference again next year. After the pandemic, it was alternating 1 year online, 1 year in person. So I went to the 2023 one. That was the first after the pandemic. And the 2024 one was online. This year was in person in California. They just announced that next year will be California again in the summer. So I'm probably going to the conference. To maintain your certified status, I think you need to have Emdria continued advanced training credits every 2 years, however many. So going to the conference is a good way to meet other people, collect credit, advanced training credits, and just to learn about the new things. A couple things I will maybe mention. The field continue to evolve. I still believe the SAFE model is really the best way to learn and to really combine attachment and somatic information. But from the conference, it seems like other people are catching up. Just the standard protocol is not enough. A lot of IFS parts work, structural dissociation, and using somatic interventions. So like patchwork of using different, borrowing from other attachment stuff, parts work, and to make the standard protocol more applicable with a wide variety of client presentations, especially complex trauma, right? So that's a trend. Another is that it's exciting research is revealing more of the mechanisms, what's really working for when we do the reprocessing, how it works. So one of the keynote speaker, you can maybe look her up. I can put in the chat. Susie, her last name is really, but I found it. Matthijssen, from Netherlands. They basically were doing experiments that does it have to be bilateral? A group with bilateral eye movement, a group with just up and down eye movement, no difference. So they figured out what elements really contributes to the efficacy. And you can look up also working memory taxation theory, and based on that, they developed EMDR 2.0. So that's, it's not to replace the standard protocol, not to replace the basic training. What you learned here about the answer, really seeing patterns and memory as layer and layer and layer, right? We always go after the earliest, the roots. So all those will still be very important foundation, but then the EMDR 2.0 could be something really make your practice more efficient and more tolerable for some clients who felt the reprocessing was too much, too overwhelming. So yeah, research is catching up and the field continues to evolve. There's always new things to learn. And still, I'm still convinced EMDR is the most efficient and powerful healing method out there. So, very helpful. Any thoughts, questions?
They're the same effective. Upside down.
Yeah, basically, it's working memory taxation, right? One foot in the present. This foot, it could be by tapping or eye movement. It could be spelling. It could be. I've been trying different things, like my client lying in the hammock, tossing a beanbag back and forth as they try to focus on the disturbance. As the disturbance go up, we need to add more taxation to compete the attention so they don't get overwhelmed or flooded instead of slowing it down.
I think I read articles about EMDR 2.0. It's like they add tapping and also like food, like
It's yeah,
food, and add backwards ladder reading, and also whilst focusing on the image and everything.
it's case by case, really depend on the client. A client with very little working memory capacity, you don't want to overwhelm them. Like my client has a lot of physical health challenges, very low energy, and neurodivergent. They notice even just try to follow the eye movement, it gets overstimulated really quickly. But the channel of stimulation also matters. So the basically, you depends on client. You need just a little bit taxation, right? To not let them getting too flooded for a small working memory. For someone with a large working memory capacity, they can multitask 5 different things. It can take 2 therapists to work on the client, to try to distract the client.
Also interesting.
And I also want you to take this time to really feel good about the work you did here the past 10 or 11 months. This process, I still believe, is the most rigorous on the market for getting certified. I mean, going through the basic training, you just learn about, oh, yeah, this is basically what we do, but still so much confusion, so much uncertain of which client, what is what. But through the past 10 meetings, you really understanding your own answers, your own trauma, and see more nuances with the protocol, right? Why we do things this way and that way. It's just so important to stick with the script, phases 3 to 7, because oftentimes when we jump in and try to improvise, oftentimes our answer can get in the way of the clients doing the work. But now that you understand the principle, you're also given permission to use yourself more. or not necessarily more, but appropriately. Right? If the client is feeling a lot of isolation and alone, and your voice here is keeping them grounded in the present. You can really use the interwaves more intentionally. You really see everything through the AIP lens and the answer lens. For the competency, that list, remember at the very beginning, I invited you to reflect on, oh, what's my relationship about grades, grading systems, 1 to 5. At this point, you all moved in the right direction. That's what matters. And you can continue to, that can be a guideline of, oh, what is the safe model about, and how to, and to check myself, to look at these areas. Oh, am I seeing more clearly? Am I feeling more attuned? So that can be your own self reference. Yeah. Borrowing an activity from our training, I invite people to say one thing. You can use multiple things if you want. One thing you want to take away, one thing you want to leave behind.
I'll go first. I want to leave behind the self-doubts that's been spiraling a lot. Less likely these days, but especially at the beginning. So I want to leave that behind, and I want to take away 以退为进 with me, and to also the just being curious. Want to take away curiosity. Yeah.
Good.
Then for me, I would want to leave the excessive worrisome that I had, and really take away my answers, because I thought this program was more focused on honing our EMDR skills and stuff. But thank you, Liz. You actually, I feel like a lot of the time you were directing us to know more about us, like our answers. And then really appreciate that. I will definitely take my answers and then apply it to my life, also my work.
Yeah. 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 If anything, I would like you really start, you already started having a new relationship with your answers. The genuine curiosity and appreciation, and then the collaboration. Oh, right now it's safe. Take a break. Oh, Yeah. I'll take care of things. So yeah. And always be curious of what memories underneath is powering our answer. Our answers are still working hard because there are things that could potentially be a threat based on past unprocessed information. The more we go towards those memories, the more we can just be present and have a more accurate assessment of safety, okayness. Yeah. In the way you relate to your answers, it really carry you along with your work with your client. It does not just reflect on one client, it's all your relationships.
Mm.
Yeah. Beautiful. One more thing, maybe before we go. You did also ask about translation. We didn't get to that yet. Yeah, I remember my response is that I'll help you to really understand the model. And when you are present and attuned with the client, words just flow. Does that feel like you are getting to that place? You can work with your clients, and whether it's English or Chinese, it just flows or switches back and forth. And what matters is that connection and attunement.
Mm.
Yeah.
All my colleagues are Mandarin speakers, so
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I also to find I'm less tangled with the words, even if it's like substituting with other words, but we're still going to that direction, then it sounds okay.
Mm. Yeah. I love that. All right, that's all. I will send you the letter as soon as I can, hopefully next week. And I will, yeah. You have my email, you have my contact. If you need anything, let me know. Stay in touch.
thank you.
Be
Thank
in
you so
touch.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.